Hey everyone, I wanted to go over and make a new deck list for the Gogeta build. Um, this deck list here is just gonna be more kind of a fun type format. I don't think it's nowhere near as on the level as the Vegito, but it's still a good deck. Um, it can be somewhat competitive depending on how you play it, but I don't know if it's going to be a top tier deck for all that stuff, like Vegito or Sin or some of the other decks that are out there. It still can do very well, but in my opinion, it's just going to be more of like a fun-ish type deck to play, which may or may not give you some wins. Sometimes it just kind of depends. So let's get into the deck profile here. So the leader is the Veku leader. When I saw this leader, I thought the 5k power was meh, but then if you read the auto, when this card attacks, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add one Son Gogeta, Son Goku BR, Vegeta BR, or Gogeta BR, all green with 6 or less, and add it to your hand, and then you get to shuffle a deck and it gets 5k power. So it is always a 10k swing, which is nice. Looking at it from that 5k was kind of eh, but then you got the second auto if you have two or more energy. When one of your Z energy cards activates EX Evolve, you may flip this card to its back. If you do, draw one card, switch one of your energy active mode, and draw cards from your life until you have 6. So that's your self awaken. Otherwise, you have the standard, which is 4 less life, and then you draw a card and switch an energy active mode. So really good there because you're going to do a lot of the EX Evolve anyway on turn 2, so you'll be usually awakening at that point. Front side of the leader is the auto once per turn. You can play when you play a green battle card with EX Evolve from your Z Energy, green Gogeta BR. With a Union skill, you can draw one card. So if you do either the Evolve or the Union skill, you have to draw a card, which is great. So free draw built in there. And then when this card attacks, draw a card, and then this card gains 5k for the battle. So essentially, you're going to be able to draw 2 cards off of this guy per turn, which is fantastic. So leader's pretty good. I don't like the artwork. I don't know why they didn't make him like Super Saiyan or something like that in particular, but like I don't know. It's just my opinion. I always like the fusions in their Super Saiyan form better than standard. So so we'll get into actual cards here now. Again, it's just how they're ordered. I can't really change that. I just put them in here, and I don't know if there's a way to like change the way they look. Or I guess I could sort by character, couldn't I? Yeah, I guess we'll just do sort by character. So I'll make it easier for you guys, sorry. So we're going to sort by that, and then we'll do this. So we're going to start off with 3 of the Super Saiyan God Vegeta Crimson Impact. So this is your EX Evolve card, limit 1, pay 1 green, draw a card, and then a green Vegeta BR with 3 or less. The permanent is that you can use this EX Evolve skill from your Z Energy, so that's where the leader on the Awakened side comes into play. So basically, you're paying 1 to get into a 15k swing, which is nice. And then the odds when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy of 4 less and KO it. So you're doing a lot of KOing in this deck, which is nice. So you'll get the KO card. So this is the 4 drops target. So right here, there'll be a couple other targets that you can look at. But so you got this guy here. So this is Super Saiyan Vegeta All Out Evolutions. Defect crit, which is great. I really like that it has deflect and crit for 15k, which is puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. But you got the EX Evolve limit 1, draw a card with a, and then you do it on top of a Vegeta BR with 2 or less. So same thing for the permanent. This card can evolve from your Z energy. So there's always that, which is nice. Deflect crit is good. And then you got your 1-drop cantrip to Vegeta. So when this card is played, look at the top 7 cards from your deck. Add 1 Son Goku BR or Vegeta BR card among them, both green with an energy cost of 6 or less, and then add it to your hand. And then you shuffle your deck. So you're just basically using him as a 1-drop to search for your other pieces at that point. So like him, or any of the other uh, EX Evolve pieces. Then you go into the 3-drop Goku over here. Um, so this one has the limit 1 draw card, and then you can play him on top of a 2 or less Goku BR. He's got deflect. I don't know why they didn't give him double strike or dual attack or something like the Vegeta. Would have been nice, but you know, Bandai, they like to do things the way they do. Still's got the EX Evolve where you can also activate from your Z energy, and then the auto is if your leader card is Green Veku or Green Gogeta. When this card is played, draw a card, and then discard 1 card from your hand. So I don't know why it's draw 1, discard 1. Like, you rather keep hand size. This card's okay. Uh, it's just a nice thing to have. I don't like this draw one, discard one, but yeah, it's again, like I said, Bandai does what they do. Um, then you got your one drop cantrip here. Same as the other Vegeta, so you need to search the top 7 for a Goku or Vegeta BR, and then either all green, and then add it to your hand. So, pretty straightforward. 3 copies of Dormant Potential. Everyone knows that that does. You get then counter the attack, and then they only can swing 2 more times if you pitch a green card. So pretty standard there for that. And then same with clones. Negate the attack, and then play the blocker token. Activate it at 5 or less life, which you'll be able to do pretty easy because you figure if you're taking 6, most of the times your opponent's going to want to try and swing at you. You just got to keep in mind though that if you do that, you're gonna end up being at 15k, so you got to make sure they get over that. So they might just swing and not combo off, but with how much Z energy is used in a lot of decks nowadays, they probably will combo off. So just keep that in mind to get the clones active. You do have to burn 1 more life to get there for it. So that's just a little side note about that. But then this is kind of where I spice things up. I run this, the Super Saiyan God Vegeta Energy of the Gods. He has a permanent that if your opponent has 2 or more battle cards in play, reduces a card in your hand by 2. So he's a 1 cost if they have 2 or more battle cards. And then he has Sparking 3, which you should have because you're doing a lot of like dropping cards to the Z and things like that. When it's played, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, which add to 2 or less, and then KO them. So this will hit your tokens if they have a lot of tokens on the field, because it says 2 or less, and KO them, and you can hit all the tokens, you can hit all that stuff. So that's great for token removal if need be. This is your 6-drop that you use to evolve into your 8-drop Gogeta that we'll look at later, but he's got a double strike, and he's got the permanent when this card will leave the game. Would leave the battle or move from the game instead. So he's just a double strike that gets removed, and then when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards with energy of 6 or less, KO it, and then this card gets 5k for the turn. Additionally, if you have at least 1 Son Goku and 1 Vegeta BR in your Z energy, you get to draw a card. So when you play him, you get to KO something 6 or less, so he's a 20k swing double strike. This deck does rely on your opponent having a lot of cards on the field. And I'll put it in the link description. I made a jank deck that actually runs not necessarily this leader here. It runs the Turles School leader that spams their side with the little the turtle cards for the last set. It works. It's just jank. It's kind of is what it is. But you guys can check that out if you want. Then you got the activate main limit 1. If your leader's green Vegeta, Vaku or Gogeta, and you have 3 more Z energy, play this card from your hand or Z energy. So you can basically play this for 1. A lot of the stuff comes out for 1, and the nice thing is he counts as both Goku or Vegeta BR, so you can use him for different things like that. Then we're going to look at the other spice that I add. So this is the other Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan God Son Goku Energy of the Gods. Same permanent as the Vegeta Energy of the Gods, that if you have 2 or more battle cards in play, reduce this by 2, and then Sparking 3, you get to draw a card. So again, like I said, he counts towards the BR stuff. He gets played him for 1, and he's a 3 cost, and 15k swings for you, which is nice. This one here is, again, all this stuff's all from the newer deck except for like 2 or 3 cards. Outside like the staples and things like that, but yeah. So EX Evolve Limit 1, draw 1 card, and then you get to evolve it on a Goku at 3 or less. So paying 1 to draw a card, pretty good. You cycle through a lot of cards in this deck. Then you got the permanent EX Evolve, can also be activated from Z Energy. If your leader card is green Vaku BR or Gogeta, and you discard 1 card from your hand when this card is played, play up to 1 Son Goku or Vegeta BR card, both green, with energy of cost of 1 from your drop, with the skills negated for return and rest mode. So you're getting to just play this guy here, lets you recycle your stuff, so when you play him, you get to play another Goku or Vegeta, and start the chain all over for the EX Evolve, which is nice. So it's a good way to cycle through and have always access to your pieces at that point. Now, we do run Unison, so we run the Super Saiyan Bardock just because a lot of people combo stuff. I know the next set, the Smoke Dragon's gonna kind of make Unisons dead at that point. And this deck's very tight the way it is too. I mean, technically you have 5 cards here that you can cycle in. You know, you have some cards, but there's not a lot of cards that work with this deck right now that I've seen. So like if you drop the Unison and then you drop your Dormant and your Frieza and stuff like that, you'll have maybe like 10 cards to play with roughly, but still like it's just, there's not a lot of room to work with. But everyone kind of knows what this does. But if you don't, if your opponent combos, you may place up to 1 card in their combo area and its drop, and then negate the skill for the turn. So they have to you force them to draw combo with 2 cards, which is nice because then you're gonna basically guarantee that they're going down hand size, which is always a big issue. So you're kind of forcing them to double combo to get stuff played. Plus, it gets rid of super combos and gets rid of power levels and things. So that's nice. You got the +1, activate main, choose one of your green battle cards, and energy of 1 and KO it. If you do, choose one card in your opponent's hand, discard it. So if you cycle through with that, you have these 1-drop cantrips that you play, which is nice. And then you cycle it with this. And this might go up in number. I only run 3 of these. You can see all the numbers I run. But again, I might change out the numbers for this. This is a deck that I haven't really tested yet. I just kind of built it to see how it goes. So that activate main might be really good to pitch that and then go there and make them burn a card. Hand destruction I know is really weak right now in the format because everything draws a million cards, especially with what you saw from my Vegito build. But it's always an option depending on what you're playing against. And then you get the -3. This character gains 5k in triple attack. So if you can get it up to 3, hopefully it's there by that turn. It's a really good card to have. Then you run 1 copy of the Newfound Might Golden Frieza, the Empower 4 dual attack blocker, and then the biggest thing is that it's a counterattack. You can pay your 3 and a counterattack, and then you play this card with 3 markers on it. So it doesn't negate the attack, but it's a counterattack. Play this, and then you'll have that. And then if this card has 4 markers on it when it's played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and kill them. So it's just a board wipe for you, ignoring barrier, or not ignoring barrier, my bad. But it's just a board wipe for you that costs 3, that's got a -4 plus 10k and triple strike for the turn, and then switch it to active mode at the end of the turn. So it's a good card, just late game, good finisher. Then you have your 8-drop. This is your kind of boss monster in the deck. The boss monster goes like that. So Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta limits broken. Deflect double strike, so he's gonna come in, and he can't be KO'd. So you can get rid of him by only doing the minus power, because game mechanics and how that all works. But he's gonna stay on the field no matter what you do otherwise. Got the auto limit 1 when this card is played. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, KO it, and then your opponent discards 1 card from the hand. So there's your barrier removal right there, and then you also make them discard a card. So you can do a lot of hand control with this, but not as much as what the format lets you draw right now. And then you got the activate main, limit 1, pay 1 green. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you add 1 of your Gogeta BR cards with an energy cost of 6 from your Z energy. Play this card from your Z energy. So you have that option. I'm just trying to read this here again. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you add 1. Oh yeah, so you have to basically add Gogeta with energy cost of 6 to your Z energy. You can play this card. So you're getting the free Z charge off this, it looks like. So that's super awesome when you have 3 more energy, and then you get to free Z charge, which is nice. Sorry, the wording's weird, and again, it's early in the morning. It's like 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning for me, so I just had to read. Words are confusing sometimes. So yeah, that's your boss monster. Their super combo, we run 4 of these. I usually like to run splits of super combos, but I decided to go more direct route and run 4 of these because they're Gogeta BR, and the deck searches for a lot of this stuff, so you can have your super combos super early if need be. And then the autos is if your leader is green and you have a Z leader, or you have 2 or more Z energy, or you have a Z battle card in play when this card is using a combo draw card. So that'll normally be active pretty quick, especially with you awakening turn 2 and then being able to play the Z leader, which we'll look at. You'll always have this live pretty quick. Um, so this is that card that gets used to play the 8 drop. So it's Deflect, Dual Attack, Union Fusion 2 if your opponent has 2 or more energy and you draw a card. It's just to use the Sun Goku BR and the Green Vegeta BR to play it. So you can do that. And then your permanents, you can choose battle cards in your Z energy when using this for the Union skill from your hand if you do place those cards in a drop. So you can basically continue to Z charge and be okay to play him. And then he has limit 1 when this card is played. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, and then this card can't be KO'd until the end of your opponent's next turn. So I like the fact that they're letting stuff just sit on the field for a couple turns, and the KO stuff. I just wish there was more barrier removal, but again, great play for one to be able to just play 2 Union Fused and go into a 25k dual attack. So I really like this card. The artwork's kind of good on it too. But then we got your charismatic villain. Everyone knows what it does, counterplay. So card comes into play, and then you basically have a unison in play with 2 or more markers on it. You can play it, and then you get to KO one of their battle cards with 7 or less. And then we run the Cell Secret Rare. Reason why is because obviously he is a Quad Strike Ultimate Deflect Energy Exhaust, and then the auto 5 or more energy. When this card is played, choose one of your 3 cards in your opponent's hand, place them in the drop, and then it gains dual attack for the turn. So the reason why we run them is because you have a lot of 4 drops. So you have these 2 right here as 4 drops, and then there's a lot of ways to make into 4 with the 1 drops and the 3 drops and everything. So basically when your Gogeta's out, you have 8 right there, and then you're going to just go plop a 4 drop down or, you know, for 1, and then you'll be able to successor into that and go that way in particular. Um, you should be able to do that because I think that'll work out in particular. I have to double check successor. That might change out. I'm sorry, guys. Um, they think you can just do it with all green cards. I don't think you need any yellow cards. I've seen a lot of people do it with just straight green cards. So I think, yeah, successor works with green cards. So yeah, that just run the Cell Secret Rare. It's a great game finisher, especially after turn 5, especially if you're playing against stuff. But a lot of things are hyper aggro now, so it's just hit or miss. And then the last card that we got in the actual main deck is the Bulma Insert to Dragon Balls promo card from the new set. When this card is played, draw a card. We don't really care about that because we're already drawing enough with the Gokus. What we do care about is this, the activate main. If your leader card is Veku or Gogeta and you discard this card from hand, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, add 1 mono green Gogeta BR card among them, and then shuffle your deck. So this will let you search for any of the pieces you need, whether it be a super combo, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, whatever you need. This is going to help search for that and gives you a great option for that. And then we're going to go into the Z cards. So we're going to start with the Z leader here, just because that's, yeah, it's not going to go in order, but we'll start with the Z leader. So it's 1 green. When you're 4 or less, you can evolve your green Gogeta BR. And then this, during your turn, this card gains 5k power, so it's a 20k swing. So that's really nice. Only issues when you're at 4 or less life. I wish it was a little bit earlier than that, but again, can't really do too much about that. Auto, once per turn when you play a green battle card with EX Evolve from your Z energy or a green Go GBR with Union skill, choose one card, choose one. You either draw 2 cards and disc 1 card from your hand, or your opponent discards 1 card from your hand. So I don't really like that green's kind of going more with this, like, oh, draw and then discard stuff, because the hand sizes in a lot of other decks are huge. Um, yeah, drawing 2 cards is nice. Like I said, you can cycle back through with that other 4-drop Goku to pull stuff, which might change numbers in the deck. But I just don't like that you're drawing and discarding stuff. The free discard is good though, because it's not, you know, you're just making them burn stuff. But again, it's not big enough numbers to really hit anything when cards are drawn 7 to 10 cards a turn. So then you got the last auto. When your opponent uses a card in a combo, you may place 1 card with 500 power or less from your opponent's combo area and drop. If you do, negates the skill for a turn. So combined with this and the unison right here that I was talking about, you can literally rip 2 cards out from their combo area, so they won't ever be able to Z charge. So that's just kind of why I run this in there instead, and I think that's going to be huge, especially with a lot of cards that are really requiring on the Z energy now. So you do, like I said, it is a very good deck. You do have some options to kind of change some of the numbers back and forth and stuff. But I just think, with that being said, it's again, you just gotta kind of see how the unison stay in play and stuff like that with the new stuff coming out. So it's good to keep them where they need to be, and it gives a lot of control. Then you run, so this is all new cards, so you're going to run one of the Jiren, the Immovable. It's got Deflect, it's a 2-2 from your Z energy. So when this card is played, choose one of your green battle cards with energy of 5 or less, and it can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills until the next turn. So that keeps a lot of stuff in play. If you need stuff in play, so I think it's a great card. And then it has an active main, place any number of Z cards in your owner's energy in their drop, and then choose up to one of your opponent's unisons and remove a marker from each energy. And then additionally, if you remove 2 more Z by the skill, it gains 10k and double strike for the turn. So it's 25k double strike. So you just have to remove 2 Z energy, hit a unison for 2. Um, yeah, I think that's great, especially considering that like a lot of the decks now that Gogeta got limited for their unison, but you can still hit that. You can hit, things like this Bardock. You can hit things like if you're playing against Gotenks. You can hit a lot of different things with this Jiren, and it's great for that. And then you get that swing double strike. If you do want to do more hand control, there is one of the Frieza Resurrected Ambition, Deflect Double Strike, and then when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy 5 less and KO it, and then place one of your Z energy in your drop, and then when one of your other battle cards with energy or 2 more attacks, your opponent discards cards. So again, there's a lot of hand destruction in this deck, but it just depends on the decks you're playing against. A lot of the decks draw a lot right now, so it's really, really hard to actually be able to get them down to a decent size. And then we run 4 of the Bulma Humble Wish. So this one here is if your leader card's Green Veku or Gogeta BR, when this card attacks, Son Goku, when you attack with a Goku or Vegeta BR, both with EX Evolve, you may use one card from on that card in a combo. So you're getting the ability to, like I said before, just combo like crazy in this deck and give you good power level. And sorry, I'm stretching, boys. Uh, you get a lot with this deck for combo power and things, and I just honestly think like the amount of like pressure you're gonna put on with those big numbers is gonna make it hard. And then if you don't give them that chance to combo, especially with the Z leader or even that unison, like you're gonna limit what they can and can't do, and they're gonna take. So you just gotta be careful of the floodgates. But that skill right there is great. So you negate this skill for their turn, but you do get at least one card where you can use the card to combo and Z charge. And then it's got the activate main limit 1 if your leader card's Green Veku or Gogeta, and you place one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, play one Son Goku BR or Vegeta, both energy green and a cost of 1 from your deck with the skills negated, and then shuffle your deck. So then you remove this card from the game. So this card, it depends on how you want to play this. This activate main limit 1 is okay if you're trying to like start the chain all over again. But realistically, you're just gonna let it sit there for this auto to be able to use that and make them, so you can combo with cards and do that. But so yeah, that's kind of the green Gogeta deck from the new cycle. So if you guys have any questions or want to see the deck list, it'll be in the listing there. But honestly, I think it's got some good potential. I just don't know where the format is right now, especially with red still running pretty top tier and blue running a lot of walls. This has some potential to be good, but it's just how you play in your matchups at that point. So again, if you guys want to see more videos, just let me know. I'm going to try and do more here. And I thank you for your time. Continue to subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know if there's anything else I can do. Thanks. Bye.